welcome to another episode of For the Culture Podcast. Actually, hold up. Let's stop this real quick. We got Shea Butter on here. We're gonna do this together. This is both FTC and Shea Butter. It's a big ass episode, and we got a lot to cover. So it is still about Black culture and soccer, but we got special guests. We got long reunited host over here. Like, I see a bright glow of off weakness over here, man. Like, yo, like, is that you, Tony? Is that you?
I came here straight from the Olympics and straight from University of Washington. You know what I'm saying? So,
if you have seen Tony on your TV, he's been coaching, he has been sprinting, he has been all over the place this summer, man, doing the work, man, doing the Lord's work, you know. How you been, man?
It's been busy as hell, as I was kind of, talking to y'all in pre-production. It's been a crazy time. You know, obviously we're in the middle of the soccer season, you know, the club and everything, but that's the part. I wish I could talk about soccer with kids. We're dealing with all the off the field stuff. So, well, nonetheless, you know, it's a crazy time, and all I gotta say is the non-soccer part of me is proud to be a Braves fan right now. We going on to that's what we do.
Congratulations.
I mean, we gotta do that.
They haven't let us sit down yet, so we gotta stay positive.
Falcons gotta go to another country to win a game. You know what I'm saying? So,
but they didn't embarrass us, though. They didn't embarrass us. They did it. And
they didn't get deported.
And against a 1-3 team, you know.
Can't believe that's what we sent to London. Whew.
Hey, but they look like a football team.
It's
a real life football team. It's like you too can have your own team. And of course, up here above us is the ladies from Shea Butter FC, Sky and Sills. This what's going on.
What's up, world?
Cool. And we come with guests, and we come with perspective, and to join us, someone that if you have been a long time fan of this podcast, I swear to you, like, we've been hyping up this woman for like at least a good 2 years. You know, we tried to get her on, things happened. We tried to get her on last year, then the pandemic happened, and yeah, like it's been like literally 2 years in the making. Former, well, I mean, can you say former? Like,
one of the better defenders.
Yes,
Yes,
Olympic gold medalist. You know, I mean, just a real OG in this game. I mean, that can, and still the fittest woman in soccer. Still, like,
I saw some footage. I'm terrified.
The receipts are insanely real. But yes, Coach Staci Wilson, we are finally glad to have you on the podcast. What's going on?
Yeah, not too much. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I appreciate that. It has been a long time in the making.
Man, like I was talking to Sky and Silver earlier, and I was just like, yeah, like this is a long time. Like just starts and stops. You know, we got like one episode in, and then but the audio was jacked. I was like, hey, we're finally like, and just with everything that's been going on with NWSL, it's like, oh, let me see if Staci's available. And then the little nugget that you dropped on me when I hit you up last week, I was like, oh, we definitely got to talk. We absolutely got to talk. But yes, I am absolutely glad that we finally have you on. I know Sky and Sills, like, y'all want to say anything? Because I know like y'all are.
I'm honored to be on the same podcast today.
Oh, I told you, I'm feeling like a dinosaur right now. I mean, even from my technology issues trying to get on this thing. But yeah, so I'm happy to be here just because I feel like I got my finger on the pulse of what's going on, the youth, just by talking to you all. So
we do what we can.
Oh yeah, Shea Butter. I keep up with their Twitter and all that. It's a nice way to stay on top of things.
Oh, absolutely. I say, Shea Butter be doing her thing, man. You know, like it's like, and then tomorrow, y'all gonna have a whole lot to keep up with. a whole lot.
Yeah, it's a busy
Yeah, that's
day.
a lot of games. Oh my god.
And some other stuff. So yeah.
But before we get too deep in this, of course, if you haven't done so already, make sure you're following us on your favorite podcast apps. Make sure you're following Shea Butter on your favorite podcast apps, YouTube, Audio Boom, Spotify, Anchor, all of them. And are we getting y'all on YouTube yet? Okay, that the look from Sky was like, we don't need no damn YouTube. I'm like, no. but yeah, man, it's let me go ahead and get it out the way so we don't have to dwell on this too quickly. The men lost on Sunday. They won last week. They lost on Sunday, and then suddenly the fan base wants to act like the sky is falling and Berhalter out. And I'm like, you had that chance last month. Right now, just slow down. But of course, we got the game tomorrow up in Columbus against Costa Rica. We'll see how it goes. Should be all right. Maybe. I don't know.
Don't y'all gotta win?
Yeah,
I mean, ideally,
yeah.
Ideally, that'd be nice. I mean, like y'all saw the stuff on Sunday. It was like as soon as we lost, it was like, oh my God, Berhalter has to go. I'm like, mind you, it's only his third loss, so it's like, really? And
I didn't go on Twitter, so I actually don't know.
You saved yourself a good headache there. So
yeah. Oh yeah, the sky was falling. Everything was falling. It was falling.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, I actually thought that it was just Klinsmann who dealt with that, but clearly, as soon as Berhalter loses qualifiers, like, gotta let him go, gotta get somebody else. And I'm like, we've already been through that. Like, especially right now, we're still in second. Just slow down. But yeah, we got Coach Staci Wilson on the show with us. Like, yeah, how you been? Like what's going down in Florida? Like, are you? Of course, Florida's been crazy with COVID. How are things going down there?
Yeah. I'm like right outside of crazy, so it's I'm feeling okay, but I live in like a little bit north of Broward, so Broward and Miami. That's more where there's a lot going on. My club, we took off the 2 months right when COVID hit, but after summer was over, we weren't shut down. So yeah.
That sounds so familiar.
Yeah, so but there may have been masks at a couple of games here or there. So yeah, I am kind of in la la land. But like I said, I'm fortunate to be in a relatively safe community and all that. Of course I'm doing what I need to do, wearing my mask, all that. But it's an experience being down here, but I'm right near the water. It's beautiful, palm trees, So yeah.
Coach Staci, I got a question for you because we're actually up here in Georgia and we're having some major issues on the club scene. One thing first with COVID is that we've probably had a good quarter of our games canceled or rescheduled due to a high volume of kids being positive with COVID. Are y'all going through the same thing with a lot of cancellations due to COVID?
Relatively speaking, like last year, there might be a lot of cancellations. What we could do though is reschedule them.
Right.
So because you can reschedule, we didn't have to cancel too many. But yeah, relatively speaking, a lot of cancellations. This year, the issue is more because and I work with the younger teams. We've had to the league has to be more monitoring of teams saying that they can't play a game because of COVID, but they really have a coach missing or something like that. So that's really a lot of times, they might have enough players, but the older age groups get a little bit more attention, so the coaches go there and they really plan last second on the younger age groups. So it's an interesting culture. Yeah.
The other interesting in my follow-up to that is because that's a big bulk of our cancellations right now. But the second part of that is that people don't realize what's happening with youth soccer across the country as far as, obviously the pandemic has been, a big problem, but referees, there's like the biggest shortage of referees, at least in the state of Georgia.
Shit, I got called. I got hit up for a game on last Sunday. I was like, "Hey, you want to ref?" Like, I've never ref a game in my life.
It's
Wow.
it's a huge issue that there's not enough referees. And here locally in Atlanta, the interesting part of it is that obviously with the success of Atlanta United and the culture of soccer is kind of booming and everything, and there's more kids and more participation and everything like that. But
Hmm.
kind of like downfall of that is that we don't have the infrastructure really to support all that participation. And so that's the second part where we're having a lot of cancellations. And I was just curious, is that something that's big in Florida as well too?
Um, yeah, it really depends on where you're at. I mean, some people, if there are some clubs that kind of do it right, where they kind of make sure they build the infrastructure as they go. There are some that, hey, they'll get as many registrations as they can. They don't care how they'll form a team.
Yep.
Hey,
Yep.
if it's not about the fit of the players, it's just about getting them to register, and then they'll figure it out. Even if they have a 14-year-old playing on a U16 B team, just so. Yeah, it's again, it really depends on where you're at, because I think a lot of that goes in the club size. Down here, we do have an issue of having too many clubs popping up. Maybe the rest of the country is having that issue, but that's the biggest thing I noticed down here. It was like barely enough to support one club. Then when you have too many clubs popping up, then that's when you're pretty much encouraging parents. Now you're creating a parent culture of, all right, if I don't make the A team, I'm out. I'm going somewhere
Right.
else.
Yep.
And now that,
Mm.
makes the clubs want to go ahead and create these, make it look like they have a really great A team, make it look a bells and whistles. And instead of going and developing players and raising the parents right. So it's almost like a snowball effect. The lack of cooperation by clubs, just
Wait, there's cooperation between clubs? Wait.
right. Oh goodness, it's possible. It's possible. Yeah.
I've never heard of that. Oh man, but no, I just had to pick your brain on that as far as like some of the major issues that we're dealing with up here in the Georgia area. Is just, I mean, referees and COVID is just it's handcuffing so much. So many. I mean, obviously the top tiers like the MLS next, clubs and everything like that. They're going to get their 3 referees and everything like that.
Mm.
But what I was talking to some of the referees, running and everything like that, and they were like, pretty much they're going to see an adjustment where now it's going to be like the highest expectation is you will hope to get a 2-ref system type of thing. And so that's just the way it's going to be going forward with a lot of youth soccer here in the state of Georgia.
I'll keep an eye out, because we've only played a few games so far, but now that you mention it, definitely at least 2 of the games out of about 6 we did have just 1 or 2 refs. So maybe you're pointing out a trend that I just haven't noticed yet.
Yeah. So can we put an ad out for on the socials for Greg? We need refs. We need someone.
Contact at FTCUTD.com.
We'll sponsor you. We'll
Yeah, I remember the 1 ref games. That used to be a mess. I used to exploit that too as a goalkeeper. And on defense.
But no, Coach, again, glad to have you on. So, like, tell us about, like, for people who may not be familiar with that 96, 99 generation, like, tell the people, like, sit out with your chest. Like, tell us about, like, how you played back on the back line. Like, tell the people, like, what you used to do out here in the streets.
I played on the back line and I used to defend.
I think she's underselling it a bit.
Just a little bit, just a tad.
Yeah.
How would you describe yourself to the people who may not be familiar with your game?
Yeah, like I said, it was probably if you're talking '96, then I was still in college playing at UNC. I was a defender for them, defender on the national team, and then played a little bit of pro soccer after that in North Carolina. So, yeah, I got to play with some pretty good players. I was known as being a pretty, a relatively, I guess, aggressive type of player. Quick, sharp 1v1. Even though I'm pretty short, I could still out jump a lot of people for the air balls. So that was, yeah, I enjoyed making a nice tackle.
All right.
Hey, that's what it's about.
All right.
Yeah, one of the best parts of the game for me.
Also, you were serving them shea butter bricks and all the time, building those brick walls.
Yeah, I enjoy being in the gym. One of the few players that enjoyed that part.
And clearly, you have never left. Never left.
Yeah, might as well. You get to do what you love.
Absolutely. So we had you on. I tried to get you on last week. Of course, last week everything was kind of like burning hot with the NWSL stuff. So like how closely have you? Well, how closely have you been following everything?
I mean, initially, of course, I was trying, looking at all the headlines and stuff. I just kind of Googled to try to keep up, really. I kind of have a life, so I don't stay on it every second. I have other things that I have to worry about. But I do like to try to keep up with it, and it seems like it's actually cooled down a little bit. I mean, I can't find too much, or maybe you up me on it. You tell me what's going on. But right now, it seems like things are kind of the statements that were made about a week ago are just there. You had the game where everyone took off.
Yeah. I think there's kind of I guess we're wait and see, right? There's a list of demands from the Players Association, I think, through the end of tomorrow.
Yeah.
The league has time.
Yeah.
The deadline is okay. Deadline
Yes.
for the demands.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, all right.
So we'll see, but there's also 8 of the 10 teams are playing tomorrow. So to make up for the games they took off. So yeah. No one knows.
So tell me this, Coach. Like going back from when you were playing, of course, a lot's been said about just the overall conditions with the game now. Like, how much has really changed from when you played?
From when I played, I mean,
or when you coached.
The more things change, the more they stay the same. So I mean, there's definitely the whole operation is a lot bigger, a lot more bells and whistles, a lot more real coverage, and some of the salaries are a lot bigger. But at the same time, there were, I believe I was listening to you all speak, saying how, and I was surprised myself to know that a couple of top national team players still have to have a couple of jobs, even though they're playing in the league. So back then I remember being on the team and a couple of, players had, 2 jobs because they were making just a stipend basically. And so it's very interesting that, it's still not a career for the players, even though so much more money is obviously in the game.
That's been something that I know, like the players have definitely gone to task about the past few months. They started up the no side hustles agenda, where just like you said, like you have players, national team players, that are still having to do side jobs to make ends meet, or having to have host families wherever they're playing, just to really have this career and try to make something out of it. And at this point in time, given all the success from the national team, of course, everyone always, whenever the women win a gold medal or the World Cup. It's like, it's about to be a good time for pro soccer. About to have a whole lot of money come in, and it seems like it just never trickles down to the players to where they have a living wage and they can actually sustain themselves and not have to worry about, okay, does my child have proper daycare? Does my do I have a place to live where I can cover all my bills? Like that kind of stuff. Like, it should have never happened in the first place, but the fact we're still here in 2021 is kind of wild.
Yeah, we're talking. I played pro back in 2000, 2001. So that was women's pro soccer first started. Carolina, the Carolina Courage. They were.
Yep.
They had actually the team was originally supposed to be down in Tampa, but it folded last second and moved to Carolina. So
wow, I did not know that.
I didn't either. Wow, a little bit of history there. Yeah.
It is kind of crazy when you think about, because like you think about, of course, North Carolina being such a hotbed for soccer, you would, especially given where things have gone now with the women's game, that especially that in the Triangle area, like that would have been like automatic for to have a pro team, but I guess not. People always sleep on the Triangle.
At the time, honestly, it was almost a slightly the team, because at the time UNC was really dominant, that any team would kind of get associated with them, and then a lot of people wouldn't like them because it's like a lot of people want to see the dynasty go down.
Of course, nobody loves a winner. Nobody loves a winner.
Well, yeah, I'm sure it would get a ton of support, but it's controversial, within the players, I'd say at the time, a little bit, yeah.
Okay.
But it ended up being a nice squad. First year came in dead last place, but the second year first place. So got those whole worst to first T-shirts and all that stuff going during the celebration.
All right. Who was on that squad, Coach?
Oh wow. Well, from the that was way back. You had Carla Overbeck, Danielle Fotopoulos. There were a couple of national team players from overseas. If you know Hege Riise, she was like just fantastic. She's Norway.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and she was just amazing center midfield. The team was always in awe of her. Birgit Prince, we had her, that top forward, German national team. So she was kind of fun to play with. A few different folks. Tiffany Roberts from the national team. Yeah, quite a few folks. And then our coach was Marcia. What is it? Coach North. It'll come to me in a moment, but she was a really good coach. We had we actually had 2 female coaches, and even our strength and conditioning coach was female, and our general manager, he was black. Yeah, Jerome Ramsey. He was a cool guy. He was a great guy, and he did a good job with the team, so they couldn't have him around too long. No. I'm joking, but I'm not.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
that's
way ahead of the curve there, like just in staffing all around. Did y'all have some questions, Sky?
I mean, I probably have a ton.
Go ahead.
Could probably do a few episodes. I guess, Grego asked, a good question about, how much has changed and how much hasn't. I guess the other conversation, based on what you do know and you being a coach, like what has that affected your dynamic with players? Like, are those conversations that are coming up just in terms of the abuse of power in NWSL has consistently been coach to player? And I know you coach youth, so like I'm just trying to get a read on what the atmosphere is in youth soccer right now around that.
Right. Well, with the age group that I coach, it would, in the amount of time that we spend together in a week, it would be a forced and heavy conversation. It would be forced, and therefore heavy. They're have their 11 and 12-year-olds. So yeah, some more, their parents, I think, are a little bit aware of things out there, and that's kind of why they appreciate them having me as a coach. So I don't know. I guess if I were to reflect on my career, like I'm kind of happy where I'm at, even though I'm doing youth soccer, and I know some people believe unless you're doing pro or something like that or college, like that's really when you're doing something important. But I kind of look at those, definitely because of my experience and as a player and as a coach in the pro, like I just see it too clearly for what it is, and I just don't want to waste my time with it. Like I can make an impact elsewhere. I can have a very happy career elsewhere. So, I don't really kind of dive into that. And obviously, college comes with a lot of different types of baggage depending on where you're going. So, that is one place where you can more maybe find a program that's right for you. Maybe as more HBCUs get programs or something like that. But a lot of times, for a while, people will, oh, you got to come here. And I'm like, that's a PWI, that's a predominantly white institution. I really don't think they want me, and I really don't want them. So where I'm at in youth soccer, I can go ahead and, create change just by having, if conversations come up, because I do work with high school boys, so I can see a little bit more of those. I have coached 16, 17-year-old girls. Right now, I happen to be building a club where I'm working with 10, 11, and 12 and 13-year-olds. And so, I've been working with those teams. Those, like last year, we didn't have a 13-year-old team, kind of growing the program from the bottom up. So that to me is ideal. You get to raise the parents, and you don't have to deal with players that are have been traumatized by another coach. So you really can gain some trust and do things right. But yeah, that pro soccer, oh my gosh, NWSL right now, unfortunately, I'm not surprised by, everything. So
Yeah, and especially considering that I don't know if this was like your last experience in pro soccer, but like when I tried to get you on last week, you happened to drop a little nugget that you coached in Philly with Paul Riley, and I was like, and just considering this, like how much came out in that athletic article, I was like, oh, like I'm pretty sure depending on what you had access to, that might have been like, you know what, this might be a good time to go ahead and see what else is out there.
Well, I mean, I said that my paths crossed with him, like coached because I'm familiar with him because I was at Philadelphia. They were coming up with their expansion clubs. Philadelphia Independence was an expansion club. So I was contacted by someone, and yeah, at first actually, so before that, I was gonna try out for the league. Thought maybe I had a couple of good years in me, whatever, And at the very first tryout, I tore my ACL. I never had ACL tear, whatever. So whatever, everything happens for a reason. Like so, get a call to go and can you maybe help us out from a gentleman that had actually worked with. He had coached my team for a year or two when I was a youth. So, all right, he introduced me to a guy that was a general manager and head coach of the team, and seemed like a pretty nice guy. He had a club built up there in Philadelphia and a semi-pro team. So he kind of had the pyramid that a lot of places think, hey, maybe if we have this pyramid, we could put a pro team here. So he had that. He owned it all. But in order to get into the league, you need a greater investment. So I guess that's where his path crossed with two gentlemen, like I said, my old coach, former coach, and who he had as his money person, his investor, like, money person instead of, building things the right way. But so after getting on, I basically met the guy that was leading the club up in Philly. Seemed like a real great guy, great program, all that stuff. Go ahead, move up there. Within a couple of weeks, he's fired. He's a general manager and head coach, and I'm not sure what happened, but he's out of the job. So, long story short, somehow the two got him in a contract. So it's kind of a dirty situation. The soccer world's filled with dirty people, just in it to take your franchise. They outright duped him. Do you follow me? He owned the club. He was the
Wow.
general manager. They were just investors, and within a couple of weeks, he's out of his own. He's out of it altogether. So things kind of change around then, and yeah, what I check out is that these are some of the most distasteful people I've ever met in the women's soccer. Um, yeah, in women's pro soccer, and they replaced him with Paul, and a lot more stuff happened. But let's say, because it's more deep to it, but I don't want to bore you with any more details. But let me tell you, there are more shady ones. But within a few weeks, Paul's in, and yeah, Paul and his staff are in, and they got rid of the rest of us. Yeah. So and they were able to, yeah, they did it through really shady means, like more contract type of stuff. Um, yeah. And so when you say things have changed, things haven't changed. It's kind of like the things that I saw in just a month of being an assistant coach. Well, it was more than that, maybe about 3 months, helping them transition the program, going doing youth development, meeting with people in the community, all of that. But then there's also the office culture, getting things set up. How you talk about the players you've drafted and done this and that. And yeah, like I was surprised, like, hold on, they're having this conversation in front of me. Like, even, because you were given some US players and some foreign players, and they received a black player from England. And her name was very ethnic, Anika. She's still big in the game. You would know her name. She's doing something with
Oh, Anita Asante?
no, I'll find her. So, but she, as they're deciding, like, it would be talking about, who's going to be on these posters and that, and it was outright, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed girls. I think Heather Mitz may have been, so obviously she was going to be on a poster, but the black players, I mean, it was outright said that they looked ugly, so it's, they held tryouts, and this was where things started to get with me, you know, ethically, where it's I'm a coach, and okay, they're holding tryouts, knowing that okay, because we're a new club, we want to hold tryouts, um, and we want to hold tryouts, but you know what? We right now don't want to take players, but we're still going to hold tryouts.
Damn.
Yes. So you have about 20 girls fly in on their own dime, Put, they're all there caring, thinking they have a chance at making them. Some of them had just been waived from other teams. So they really are kind of heartbroken, but I can make it in this league. This team needs me. So yeah, it was just, and they sure enough didn't take anyone there. So that's where, for me, and especially that's over 12 years ago. Yeah, I think I'm the type of person where I can't quite hide my distaste. So having somebody like me on staff, wasn't really desirable for those type of people. So,
I'm
have to
assuming
figure out a way to get her out. So it was really shady the whole way they did a lot of things.
Was the trials like $350 to try out or something like that?
Something insane, man. Insane.
What?
Even if it was
Hell no.
free, they brought their own ticket.
Yeah.
I mean, other teams, you put your heart on the line. You actually think you have a chance. And then you did have some girls that were like emailing for a couple of, weeks after, like, hold on, because they knew, like, hold on, I killed it. I killed it during this, how come I'm not, so they're still trying to stay in contact. And yeah,
So that model is used repeatedly with a lot of expansion teams within the U.S. as far
that's
as
just crazy.
specifically when it comes to soccer, when it's almost every tier of level of competition, they do that, and it's an easy money grab. they'll already have who they're going to have on the team, but they'll sell this dream, and because it also creates that loyalty to the club too. Because you're creating a fan base where people are thinking like, oh, they're having those Rudy dreams, like I can make this team type of thing, and then okay, they'll sell it, they'll buy all that, like you said, buy the tickets to get there and try out and everything like that, knowing damn well that there's no chance of that team selecting someone without throughout that process, and to see that, that high level of where this money grab is with the U.S. soccer system it's quite disgusting. Staci, as you alluded to, it's just like when you've been on that other side of it, and you're just like, oh, it's a part of this show now. Okay, damn, that really in the belly of the beast right now. It's disheartening. It makes you realize like, well, why are we into this game? Like the game we love, but it's just so dominated by financial reasons.
Jeez.
Damn.
I learned something new today. I'm taking a minute to.
Well, I mean, it sounds like corporate America shit when they turn around and go, "Oh, you gonna go interview for this thing," and they already had the person hired for the job. So you fly out there, you thinking that you gonna have a shot at the job, and it don't happen.
That's why I'm not too sure. I'm too crazy about the Rooney Rule, because I'm like, okay, so we agree to interview. Okay, that's all we gotta do. Cool. Like.
They barely do that. That's why.
They got the cheat code around that. So okay, like hey, like we get our one guy at the interview, and then hey, we already have who we really want in mind. We just got to go ahead and clear this out. That's just up, down, and we good.
Yep. That's messed up. Dang. So then there's there's literally like no infrastructure in place. Well, it wasn't then. To like address that kind of money grab behavior, but I guess
you have to, I mean, no, the league, I mean, that's apparent basically. Either there's nothing in place or the league knew about it. I could believe either one. Neither's that much better than the other. We're that incompetent. We threw a league together so quickly where stuff like this could happen. A league that's not going to be paying players, that's going to allow this to happen, that's going to allow this type of power structure. So, neither one's really that great, them knowing versus not knowing there.
Like just in the bit that I've read just in the past few weeks, just like how you said, like it from each of the leagues that failed in the past to now with the NWSL, it's definitely been a culture of where it's like, yeah, let's just get a league up, but then not really give the players much of anything to really sustain themselves and actually have any bit of bargaining power so that they actually can take advantage of the money that comes in. And you end up with basically what you have here, where you have a culture of execs, coaches, staff that are able to basically do whatever with the players and basically mistreat them. Because like there was something that we talked about last week's guys, so that with the issue with Nadia Nadim with the contract, and like I was reading something with that where basically like contracts are like basically like a 1-on-1, and you're dealing with players that are coming from all over the country and some places all over the world, and how are you supposed to go off like, hey, I might be here for 1 year, and just maybe I might be here a second year? Like that's no way to to live, because like you're basically like, hey, I'm hoping that this actually works, but it's a fair chance that it might not.
Yeah, it's not sustainable, right? Like it's almost like mercenary work. Like you come again, particularly she's coming from overseas, and then she did everything, quote unquote, that she was supposed to do, and they were still able to forge it and then try to lie about it to keep her from going to a club that, say what you will about Portland, like at the time was a better club and a better situation than Sky Blue. right? Just to get out of that or to stay stateside and play. Like there's all sorts of stuff like that as I'm learning. So obviously I haven't played at all or at that level, much less. But yeah, it's just a lot of nefarious, I think, business being done.
Now, let me ask you this, Coach. Just like going back from like when you were playing, like what were the contract situations like back then? It's just as far as like how did they keep? I know you mentioned earlier a lot of players had to like keep side hustles, but like were they in a place even back then? It's like, hey, like do we want to keep you long term, or just like, hey, you're just here just to hopefully sell some t-shirts?
Yeah, it was more. I'm pretty sure it was more 1-year contracts back then. And even if it was more than a year, you could still get, if you're waived or by a team, like it could reset your contract. So even if you're, I mean, yeah, it's there wasn't much security is the point. No, no multi-year, contracts. The national team players had the back then the national team wasn't sponsoring the league, so that's part of where it was. I guess if there's only so much money, the money's going to the going more toward national team players, certain ones. But then there was also a draft, and the draft determined kind of where you were going to get paid, and then you were supposed to get raises based on if you're able to stay in the league, stay on your team. But then again, like I said, that's where it kind of allowed little ways where you could be reset even if you're doing a good job.
Damn.
So not that much changed then.
Yeah. I mean, they get you one way or another. It's like I said, it's just it's toxic after a while. You just get okay. I'm happy without it.
Right.
Yeah, I can see why you coach you soccer.
Hey, people appreciate what you do, so
And hopefully you teach a good defensive fundamentals, because I have a lot of issues with defense these days.
I know Coach has seen her at the coaches convention. Like, yeah, she gets it in.
Oh no,
yeah.
The session she led at the United Coaches Conference, Coach Convention, United Soccer Coaches Convention. Like, mind you, everybody and their mama was there in the soccer community, and she's out there in the main stage area, showing her skills, literally the skills, and so she still got it. Coach Staci still got it.
Well, I can do a demo. I can do a demo. That's what I can do.
Like 5 minutes.
One time. One time. You good?
Trying to stay young. Well, come to my presentation this year. I'm doing like 2 different field presentations. So one on physical preparation for youth players, and that one's for competitive club coaches, and then another one that's more of a learn by doing so we're not going to use any players, any coaches that want to get out there, because a lot of times you might see something, but it's like, especially this is for the sports performance diploma. Yeah. So it's teaching, my session will be explosion, like plyometrics. So teaching kind of the top plyometric exercises that you could sprinkle into your training session. Coaches knowing, kind of what each one is working on, why they would throw it in. But most importantly, they get to kind of try it out and then get to see the coaching points, how you sit your hips or how you, achieve triple extension or whatever. But so then they go back and can actually coach it. But yeah. So a little plug there. You see?
No.
I'm like listening.
No, because like I was actually talking to Nicole Hercules. I think it was over the weekend, and she was telling us about the convention next year. And I said we're trying to see if we can, make our way out there to KC and see what's good.
Please, you gotta come. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. I mean, hopefully, obviously, everybody, you're always right now concerned about COVID, whether or not that's gonna have it switched to online or something like that. But hopefully, we can as a country keep or go in a good direction.
Eventually, let's stumble into it, maybe.
We'll see how that one goes. But yeah, I'm definitely glad that we were able to get you on. Of course, we're here with Coach Staci Wilson. Did y'all have any other questions?
Yeah, I got a question. I got questions. So for Coach, I did have a question in terms of, how is it being a Black player on the playing professionally, and then playing with the national team? Because like I played in high school, and it was always frustrating, even in Atlanta, when you had the Atlanta beat and stuff existing.
Mhm.
Like, even if I'm playing on a super Black high school team, going to games and being like, man, it's hyperly white, and they playing at Herndon Stadium. And like, it was always like, what was the support like, playing even in college too. And then I guess my second part of the question would be like, did y'all have like any kind of support networks between, the few players that did exist, that were Black, or was that something that was needed back when you were playing?
Yeah, I'd say that it was nothing like what there is now. There was none of the support networks at all, period. So, we were ourselves just networking, so the kind of the Black players on the national team, I think it was Brianna Scurry, Lori Staples, Tammy, we kind of, that was more, I mean, that was the extent, and I roomed with Thori, so that was great. And, I can't really see myself rooming with anyone else. She was, kind of down to earth, and mom was in church. So it was definitely a different culture. I'm not sure, Pro League, Pro League was interesting because I did have some Black players on my team, and but the game had grown by that point, let's say. So, then there were some Black players around the league, but let's just say, like, I feel like some players who are outspoken about Black stuff right now, like, I feel like they weren't that way back then, let's say. So whereas, like, okay, so it's interesting to see that. I do think, all right, so as soon as that blackout day once blackout day came and everyone did that on Twitter after Floyd, that's when I suddenly was looking at statements from former teammates or girls that I knew. It was like, deep as hell. Okay. Oh, you think this now?
Right.
You still didn't want to be around the talk back then.
Right.
You yourself thought anybody that talked that way was a troublemaker. It was real interesting.
Can I follow up on that? Because it's interesting you bring that up, because I am currently doing some homework for this anti-racism soccer league that Common Goal is doing. And I am tasked with handling the module that is focused on activism within soccer. And a big subunit of what I'm focusing on is about that whole issue of courage and, standing up, speaking up type of thing. And, the dynamic you just brought up about, when people were faced when it was not cool and when it was even harder, but then when there's not as much on the line, and then people are like, oh, okay, yeah, now they're, now they Malcolm X with it.
Right. Hey, Malcolm X, they're vulnerable with their, it's okay, got you. This is on your mind now. Okay.
Did you feel like, but also like back then though, before when they was quiet and stuff like that, were you also like, yo, they ain't about that cause, they ain't about that fight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was just a given. It was just. It was, that was apparent. It was.
Damn.
Yikes.
Without pointing fingers and stuff like that, I can pick up on a couple that I can probably figure out.
There ain't that many.
Right.
Well, you might be able to guess one.
Damn.
That's not a smoker's cough.
All right.
What you got yourselves?
I mean, I don't have much. I'm just processing the information. I mean, I think deep down you know this stuff, but it's a lot, right? Like ain't a whole lot changed. Like you said, there's more money. It's still not going to the people who make it, but who bring the
more
eyeballs.
statements, more statements and
yeah,
and but are things really changing? So it's almost like all the statements and things are sometimes people don't realize they're getting caught up in red herrings. Just here, look at you're just being sidetracked, delayed. Even think about somebody that doesn't mind the Rooney Rule. They're still going to act like it's a trouble. Oh no, we don't want to fight it, even though that's just delaying it. They might be perfectly good with that being the next step. They've thought it through. All right, well, just interview people. Like, it's just everything's just a delay. They're thinking of the next step.
Right, to keep the power.
Yeah,
to keep what they have.
So, gotta be optimistic, but don't fool yourself. Make change where you can. I'm definitely not saying because I do see some people doing some. There's some conversations that feel good to be a part of. So I don't want to be too much of a pessimist.
No. I mean, that's honestly, the reality, right?
Honestly, I think they just given your career and just giving your perspective. Like you've seen it all, so it's not like it's if there's reason for pessimism, you've seen it all, so it's like you kind of get it. So, I definitely understand and just empathize. Like I don't call myself an expert on women's soccer. I just try to give the platform that I have to people who know it and lived it and eat it and breathe it and all that stuff. And I'm just glad that we are finally able to have you on and just give your perspective on things, because like you were the OGs in the game, like you've lived it.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, I even read something the other day and it got me thinking, because it was talking about it was an article saying how Megan Rapinoe was condemning and how she didn't hold back talking about him, and it was almost like, I don't know, it was interesting trying to analyze the article, because I kind of wondered a few years ago, like with the whole equal pay thing and it being so hard fought, like you're fighting for the national team salaries, which are that's great, but how about while you're doing that, throw in the league salaries? Don't try to just make a trickle down effect type of argument, which seems to be what has been. I don't know, maybe has there been a fight for NWSL salaries?
You know what? Up until like everything that's been going on the past few weeks, I don't think there's been a really great spotlight put on that.
I mean, and it's been blatant. Blatant. Yeah. So why would you not bring attention to that? Why were you only bringing attention to their own? And I don't want to say that, like, but why not bring attention to this? Because now, if I call myself a social and racial justice warrior, that would be something that would be on my list, especially if I'm taken care of. And I think she's taken care of with sponsorships and everything else going on. She's well taken care of. So go ahead and speak for others, but it's just and it made it and she drew an analogy saying kind of how she looked at a difference in salaries as being why this power structure is able to exist. She kind of lost me on part of it, but maybe the statement. But yeah, and so I was thinking kind of like, let me find it real quick, actually. Rapinoe continued on topic to shed light on the prevalence of harassment everywhere, adding that the pay gap in workplaces fuels the dynamic. I think sexual harassment, period, is prevalent everywhere. If you're a woman, you've been sexually harassed in some sort of way, verbal, otherwise, just in the world. So yeah, I think it's prevalent. I think the power structures are super imbalanced. I think the lack of money that people make plays a huge part in it. If you're making $6,000, that's a lot different power than you feel than if you're making even $50,000 or $100,000. And just the way that we are kept in one place and really have no options, I think just sort of lends to this kind of culture of abuse. So I'm like, huh? I don't know. That just to me, I'm like, oh, yeah. So I'm not sure how you read that, but that to me just, I don't know. I was just, it just, how come this issue of the pay gap hasn't come up before now? That's it. If it's so critical to the power structure, that's what I'm trying to say.
No,
absolutely.
I think that at least from how I'm interpreting it, because there definitely is a level of abuse that goes on, just in the fact that you have players who can essentially be traded wherever without their say so, and you basically don't have that type of control over your career. Like if you're finished with your contract and you say, hey, I don't want to play for Houston anymore, say, hey, I'm done. I can go wherever I want to. Where instead it's like, okay, the Houston has your NWSL rights, and they have to make a deal with Gotham in order for you to ultimately move to Gotham. It's like, no, I should have that control on my own, and I could make the deal however I please. And that's something I think Eni Aluko had talked about with her statement last week, was just that, yeah, like players should have free agency. They shouldn't have to deal with these allocation rights to where teams ultimately have that level of control over your career, and that leads to situations of abuse where if you say something wrong, you could basically be blackballed out of the league, and like that's the kind of stuff that we're basically trying to get away from.
Greg, I know we're talking about women's soccer. Do those rights happen in MLS or the men's side?
Oh yeah. Like when I first saw that statement, the first thing I was like, I hope nobody from MLS is listening to that, because like that's one of the things that it's like we talk about, privately, that you have those same type of issues where you have drafts, you have allocation, where basically like unless you're like a Kaká or Thierry Henry, it's like, yeah, you don't have that type of control as far as where you want to go. And like thankfully, like I feel like where NWSL is now is where MLS was, and coach can probably agree with me, like probably like right around the time Beckham came in. And then when he came in and he saw how shitty it was, that's what forced them to finally start getting towards modern times. Of course, it still has a good ways to go, because you still don't have.
It still has a ways to go.
Yeah, like you still don't have full free agency, but there at least is some type of free agency that does exist. But I'm like, of course, to know me is to know that I'm like, hey, as soon as you are cut from a team or you're released, it's like, hey, I should be free to do whatever the fuck I please. And you still have situations where it's like, nah, I got to go through the allocation order. I got to hope that Atlanta doesn't claim me so I can go to Dallas, and like shit like that. It's like it's absolutely ass backwards, and
the NFL shit.
And it's definitely the NFL where like you're basically like you're waiting to cut waivers, and you don't have that full freedom that you really should have, because like that's basically what everybody has around the world, where as soon as you're gone, it's like, hey, I can do what I want. Or if you want to set up a deal, you do transfers and all that stuff. And like that's the kind of thing that here in this country we are inching towards. It's just the leagues are going kicking and screaming, but that's what we need.
Staci, I'm just waiting for your added or amended chapter to $40 million slaves. $40 million. I'm just waiting for your chapter to be added.
One day, once you get some time when we sit down and write it together.
Exactly.
Definitely got some material, but I need a partner.
Say the least.
But yes, Coach, I'm definitely glad that we were finally able to get you on. If you got anything that you want to plug, of course, feel free to plug. Like where can we find you on the socials, or where can you find your programs in Florida? Let the people know.
I guess the biggest thing for me to plug would be, like I said, with the United Soccer Coaches, I'm working on the sports performance course. You can take it online, and it's like it has 12 different modules, 12 different topics that we kind of deep dive into, so that a lot of clubs or a lot of places, a lot of coaches want to know a little bit more about the injury prevention, injury performance enhancement side of things. So it allows somebody to be either that specialist for their club, or maybe you are the assistant coach that has to do all of the training for the team. So it's me, um, another gentleman that worked with Houston Dash. He's like an NASA scientist. Another gentleman that works with La Liga, and another U.S. soccer instructor. So we put it together, and so far the feedback's been pretty good. So yeah, that come see me at the convention on Twitter. But that's just for fun. Come check out that course if you have a chance.
Cool. Definitely. Again, we definitely appreciate you coming on, Coach Staci Wilson. Again, your family with us. So anytime we can have you back on, we'd love to have you back. And like I said, hopefully it doesn't take another 2 years. That's all I'm hoping.
Yeah. No,
we'll have better questions next time. I'm just
well, yeah.
I'm excited to share a space.
Wait, I do got a question. So okay. Was there do you have like a favorite moment of like defending somebody, or like had a moment of like, oh shit, I did that
every game?
Let's say maybe a favorite moment. I'd say a moment that stood out, like just maybe freshman year. I got I think Final Four defensive MVP, and I'm pretty certain that it was because of this one tackle that I made in the finals, where a player had kind of gotten through on a breakaway to the keeper, and out of nowhere I was able to come through and make a slide tackle and save a goal. So
woo!
Yeah,
all right, now
I'd say that was probably the moment being so big, and I mean, I swear I saw her like open, and I'm like, like your eyeballs get big, and she's like, I was booking to try to get her. So, yeah.
All right, I have two very quick soccer questions then. One, best player you ever played with. Two, who's a defender you like right now?
Okay. I mean, it's debatable. I mean, it's who do you think the best player was? It's because I played with on the national team with most people like Michelle Akers, or they like Mia Hamm or Christine Lilly. Those are kind of iron women of their day. I played on my college team was pretty good back in the day. So I do think players like I played with Tisha Venturini, who I thought was just really clever. Yeah. And I got a kick out of playing with her because she was probably one of the slowest players on the field, but you didn't know it,
wow.
Good. So it's a little, people that were, there was a lot of skillful players back then. Thori was probably favorite defender to play with. I played with her on semi-pro because for a while they didn't have pro. And we actually played on the Raleigh Wings before the Carolina Courage. That team actually did get along. It had a nice blend of, you wouldn't believe it, but Duke, UNC, and NC State players. Yeah.
Hey,
nice
anything pot. Soccer can do anything, right?
Yeah. So, but yeah, those are some players I really enjoyed playing with. I definitely say there's probably, the kind of like that, greatest of all time that never made it. I do have a player I think like, damn, so good, but you wouldn't even know her name because she got injured. Made it to like U20s, but it was like, I think her skill and work ethic probably outdid all the other attackers whose names I just said. So
yeah,
but
Hey, who do you like now?
I mean, it's hard not to like Crystal Dunn. Come on.
Yeah, man, I get it.
She's kind of doing her thing for a while now. Yeah. I mean,
I was on defenders, but I know you have high standards.
well, they got her at defense on the national team still, right?
So,
Yeah,
since we're touch on that real quick, like I'm gonna go ahead and go there. What do you make of that situation where she's made it clear that she wants to be an attacker, she wants to be at least center mid, attacking mid, but they keep keeping her back on as a fullback?
I mean, it's hilarious. It shows you the power of U.S. soccer. I mean, it just doesn't matter. They'll do what they want. I'm pretty sure everybody thinks she can have an impact higher up the field. She's saying she wants to do it. It's kind of as obvious as can be. Yet, hey, it's like it wasn't me. Just deny. Like just do what they want to do. Pretend it's not going on. Just business as usual. Act natural. It's typical U.S. soccer.
Man, she's probably the best midfielder, actually, if we keeping it real.
It's always a problem.
Just makes me want to scream because a lot of the midfield issues would get fixed if you just put her in the midfield.
Right. I mean, at UNC she played every position, but she was more of a attacking center midfield or center forward.
She's not good enough to play keeper, though. I'm just saying.
Right? Yeah.
You don't like short keepers?
Why you hating on short keeper, though?
I mean, she might have ups. I don't know.
Different athlete to be a keeper, y'all. I'm just saying.
I mean, I know that you can, but you still, even though you can be so, unless it's like top binge, you still can knock stuff down. I'm repping for the short keepers out there when I had to do that, but still.
I'm sorry. I had to. I'm sorry.
Goalkeepers unite. I know.
That's hilarious. But no, it's absolutely maddening. And was there because the roster just came out today, right?
No, it's coming out tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to say, I was like, we're still dealing with this, and yeah.
Oh yeah, we definitely probably dealing with it till January, man.
Yeah.
And particularly as they continue on the other side, letting people get cooked. Yeah. That's why I call them skillets. Get cast iron, getting cooked on up.
Oh man. All right. So again, thank you for coming on, Coach. Again, you're this house is your house, so whenever you got some stuff to say, we definitely got the platform for you. Of course, I'm hoping that we can get you Shea butter on pretty soon, because I feel like that'll be a very, very interesting conversation. I see you over there blushing, but yeah, definitely glad to have you on, Coach. And again, feel free to come by anytime. Okay.
All right, I appreciate that. Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Again, thank you to Coach Staci Wilson for coming on to the pod this week. Are you still tingling over there, Sills?
I'm coming down. It's good. That was just very eye-opening. So I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Not having to see the face probably helped though. That was good.
Oh yeah, she would have melted down. She would have
I don't know.
She would have passed out.
I'm a struggle,
I'm
man.
gonna say this real quick. Like, all you gotta do for Coach Staci, put some reggae on, some dance hall.
Oh, okay.
You'll see a whole different coach.
Oh, okay. All right.
Hey.
I'm telling you.
Now I know.
She was at the coaches convention. As soon as that dance hall came on,
hey.
So I'm out.
Now I know.
Hey.
Oh man.
I mean, the coaches convention sounded like the spot to be.
It was like some turn.
I guess I'll put a plug in for that right now. I mean, the United Soccer Coaches Convention is, they bill it as the biggest coaches convention in the world. Like, it's literally the congregation of all coaches. I mean, like at all levels, from volunteer, youth, rec coaches to English Premier League coaches and La Liga coaches and stuff. Like, so you're seeing all spectrums of coaches there. And like, it's funny because like, I think I texted you, Grego, when this happened, but that one day when I was coming out of one of the classes, and I bumped into what's her name, former head coach of the women's national team.
Oh,
Jill?
Yeah, Jill. I
Yeah.
literally bumped into her, and she looked at me like, "What the?" I'm like, "Oh shit!"
Say he's done. Say he's done.
She looked at me like, "Bo, who is you?" I'm not even lie. I looked at her. I was like, "You short? I will."
Well, we know who's not getting
I
in
don't
San
care.
Diego.
Anybody get these hands? No. Anyway, but the coaches convention though, it's a dope situation because you get the task of learning and you know gaining more insight to your craft and sharpening your tools and everything like that. As you know, Coach Staci, she was one of the main presenters at the coaches convention in Baltimore, and like to be billed as one of the main presenters.
Yeah, I'm like, now that you're telling me, that's a big deal.
That is like the creme de la creme. I mean, you're talking about like all the top coaches in the world are looking at your session. You know? So the fact that she was, I think it was one of 4 main presenters, and so
dang.
Yeah. Coach Staci,
she undersold herself there.
No, she did, and that's what I'm saying. Like right now, I'm just making sure that people know that, like, you know, put some respect on her name.
I mean, I put some respect on her name because that's one of the best offenders.
But the coach convention too is just like it's a great networking opportunity, and it's you know, it's also like kind of like a reunion type of homecoming type of thing. You know, you get to catch up because oh, there you go, what's up? You know, I mean, ain't no Howard homecoming, but you know, it's
my God.
Wow.
He found a way to slide that one in there, man.
Like, I know, right?
Wow. Wow.
Hey, coach, man.
Wait. Well, I know where you're going. Don't even start. I already know where you're going.
No. I'm not even gonna do anything bad.
Oh, okay.
No, I was gonna go back to the coaching convention. Like how?
I thought you were gonna talk about the Hampton game. I thought you were gonna say something.
Oh yeah, about that. Yeah, about that.
I didn't even watch that, man. I don't put that on my life. That's my fan. That's everybody else's family. Everybody else. But I was gonna say, like, how do we have a lot of black coaches? Like, I'm just trying to get an idea here.
Yeah.
So, you know, Grego talked about like he spoke to Nicole Hercules. Nicole Hercules, she's our sister in the cause. She's our sister in the fight. She leads the Black Soccer Coaches Alliance, basically. It's our affinity group within United Soccer Coaches Convention.
Okay, affinity group.
You know, yeah. We got representation, right?
Yeah.
So Nicole is being tasked with kind of changing, you know, the engagement level and actually like doing stuff because previously before Nicole, it was always great to be around other black coaches and it was that good, you know, kind of like that feel like you're home type of thing, but we weren't like accomplishing stuff. And Nicole has really been putting out the task of like accomplishing things and kind of like having, you know, a true strategic plan. You know, getting stuff done, whether it be with the HBCUs, with soccer and everything. Black coaches getting hired, you know, more often in higher positions, or not even just coaches, but also, you know, at admin levels and everything like that. So, you know, there is that group for us there.
Okay.
And it's a great thing. You know, we always have our, you know, get together soon. And that's where
that's where the family reunion takes place.
Yeah, it's always the social, man.
That's where I met Staci. That's where I met Kim Crab. You know, first black woman.
Yeah, no, Kim. Yeah.
And actually, like, she's helping me out this week. I call her auntie now. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
They on that level now.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And she's coaching in Carolina, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, woman to young.
Yeah. So you know, that time for the black coaches, you know, group is just it's cool because like the fact that I got to meet Lincoln Phillips, you know, who you know, coached Howard University and was the first, you know, first black goalkeeper coach within the national team system. And he's always been a hero of mine. The fact that like we were there in the same setting, you know, chopping it up. And so that's what I'm saying. Like that, the United Soccer Coaches Convention, there's nothing like it. It is like a homecoming. It is close. It's second to Howard homecoming. You know what I'm saying? But
is that this weekend?
hey, man, about that. See what happened was there's this thing called COVID. I don't know if you heard about it. So
yeah,
like
it's a rumor.
They're doing it in Alabama.
Okay.
It's Alabama. Alabama's a whole
different. Sorry to anybody from Alabama.
My roommate's going to Tennessee State.
They doing it in Alabama, so it must be okay.
She said the standard is Alabama.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey, wait a minute. Don't do that. Don't do that. Yo, stop. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Hey, can we make that quotable? Like, seriously. Like, they do it in Alabama?
What's the problem?
Why do you have to put the extra accent? Yeah, that was extra. No. Like,
sorry.
It's funny because it's true.
It's true though, but it's real though. My roommate's going to Tennessee State's homecoming. They didn't cancel theirs.
No,
they canceled this.
Anything like Georgia and West, you just go ahead and just bet they're doing it. Just go ahead and bet they're doing it. Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, Texas,
y'all out here spreading COVID around Atlanta. COVID.
When have we ever been closed? When have we ever been closed? Like, come on now.
It's true.
That's what I'm telling my mom. I'm like, I ain't coming to see you because y'all don't got no hospitals open.
No, actually, we were closed that first
night. Keisha closed, and then Kemp was
that's
like,
right. Yeah, Keisha did close. Keisha did come through.
Curfew that happened that first night. But then,
nope.
It been open.
I'm screaming.
I'm gonna still need the bars to keep their kitchens open past 10 o'clock. I need that back in my life though. But yeah, man, it's great to have the squad back up in here. Like I said, it's been so long since seeing coaches off week glow over here. But yeah, man, it's a lot of good things are coming up. Of course, we're coming up on our 3rd year anniversary. It's been 3 years, Tony. It's been 3 years.
It's an anniversary.
Yeah, we're like next week will mark 3 years since we were up at Maestro's crib with the smoke detector coming off every 3 minutes.
Because I was home.
Because
I did his job.
What's that Roddy Ricch song?
Oh shit!
Oh God! But
in the background.
But yes, for those of y'all who have stuck with us throughout this time, we definitely do thank you for, like I said, going through our growth. We're continuing to grow. This is our last week with the Protagonist Alliance. We want to thank Dan and Josh for just helping expand our platform. I know they got like another week or so with Shea Butter, and we got some cool things we want to announce in the next couple of weeks. So just I wanted to make sure that we give our thanks to Dan and Josh. Like I said, they've been super dope. To collab with them and everything, and hopefully we'll see each other again. And like, that's a big ass bottle over there. Scott.
Can I drink my Evian in peace?
You are so LA.
I saw them drinks in person. I was like, what are we doing?
Stay on top of your water game. You know what I'm saying?
You're supposed to drink 120 something ounces of water a day.
Oh man, but no, what's been good with you, Tony? Like I said, it's been a good minute since you've been on the show. Like how's Memphis? How's soccer in the streets? What's good, man?
Oh, it's funny you asked about Memphis. Literally before I got in this with y'all, she literally lost another 2.
What? Yeah, I saw the snack was going on, dog.
Back Atlanta. I just dropped. We just had daddy-daughter date night, and then I dropped her off with her mom, and she FaceTimed me like 15 minutes later, and she just goes like this. all that just gone.
Okay, she waiting for the money is what that is.
Yo. So here's the game that this girl's playing. She's playing the co-parenting game so well.
So I have my teeth over here, then I got my teeth up there.
Right. And so it was 2 weeks ago she lost her tooth to me, which was a whole ordeal. I mean, I talk about like going through parenting things, and it's funny. I was talking to my best friend's mom, and she was like, "See, all that stuff that y'all gave us back in the day is coming back to haunt you," type of thing. I was like, "Damn it, right." But she lost her tooth, and it was a big, like literally, she did not eat for a day and a half. A day and a half. Right. I was like, because she did not want the tooth to fall out. And then basically that one morning, I was like, girl, we are not leaving this house until that tooth comes out. Like, she literally was not eating. She was moping and sad and blah, 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 and this and everything like that. I was like, no, that tooth is coming out. You messing up my day. And so pulled it out, whatever. And so the agreement she made with me, she was like, well, before kids, y'all don't understand this. They are mental terrorists. Like, they are terrorists when it comes to negotiating. Like, it's ridiculous, especially the way they are this day. They are built different this day and age. I am having to negotiate with her about taking her tooth out. She's like, well, you didn't give me an option. I'm like, you don't need an option.
Oh, God.
Terrorists. Kids are mental terrorists. But anyway, so she's a jack-o'-lantern right now. She has about like 6 missing teeth right now. It's funny, but she's cute right now. And she's loving soccer right now. Like, FTC family, it's crazy that, like, I don't think she has a choice because between me, her mom, and her stepdad, like, all 3 of us are soccer people and everything like that. She ain't got no choice, but even still, we're not forcing it. And she's like, literally, every time we go to the playground, she's like, Daddy, get the ball. Let's practice. And
what's she trying to be? What's her vision? What's her dream?
Her dream, actually, she wants to be a teacher or a PE teacher, too.
Okay.
I was
going to say position.
Oh, position-wise? So that's the other thing. Y'all can't tell. Can't say nothing. Y'all gotta keep this on the hush. I mean, I know it's on the podcast and everything, but don't tell the other side of the family. She wants to be a goalkeeper. She wants to be a goalkeeper like her daddy.
Okay. And they probably be upset.
All right.
She gonna lose a couple more teeth.
I'm not forcing it. Every time she's like, Daddy, let's do keeper training. I'm like,
okay, she out here. Yeah.
I'm like, nah, babe, we got to work on the feet. You know, you can't be a great keeper if you don't have your good feet nowadays.
That's true. That's true.
She'll say, well, she got her gloves yet?
Yo, does she have gloves? Come on, bro.
She got her little gloves yet? She's like, you're like,
bro, she got her training gloves, she got her game day gloves, she got her rainy gloves when it's raining.
Hey, right.
She got her futsal gloves, she got her street gloves. Does she have gloves? Come on, man. Yes,
so she is loaded on gloves. She got every situation. She ready anytime, anywhere.
You get them hands, literally.
Yeah.
Oh God, man!
Soccer Streets. I gotta put this plug in this weekend. We're doing our Black Tie event, which is fundraising. Is one of our biggest fundraising events. Basically, what we do instead of doing like a gala where everybody dresses up and everything like that, we play soccer in tuxedos and dresses and stuff like that.
They get formal with it.
Yeah, we get formal with the soccer play. It's fun.
I saw you can get somebody up in their little tux.
No, like, yo, dude, like one of my favorite teammates, he's like, we call him Secret Service because he looks like he's straight up Secret Service with his whole suit and everything like that. But didn't have some Adidas Copas on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
hey,
it's fun. And whereas I cheat because, you know, I gotta make sure that I win. So what I do is
you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, man.
Right. I wear a tuxedo T-shirt. I
want to be formal, but I came here to party.
I think of Talladega Nights.
Exactly. So, you know, I sweat a lot. I sweat like a hostage.
That's fair.
So,
I
can't be wearing a tux. You know what I'm saying? So, but I gotta say that this weekend is the Black Tie event, and again, it's our biggest fundraising event. It's gonna be fun. For a good cause, obviously. But I'll give the updates, you know, in our, I guess we'll do 2 up, 2 down as well, too. So.
Oh, yeah.
Brief.
I do believe you'll hear the Staci interview also on Shea Butter FC this week. But what else we talking about this week on the show?
Whatever happens in this league, man.
Yeah, I guess we gotta wait for tomorrow to happen first, and then we kind of go from there.
Well, yeah, because there's a ton of soccer tomorrow, women's soccer. So there's
you wanted like a recap of a game or something from last week?
No, I'm talking about like what's going to be on the show this week. Like I said, yeah. Well, you'll hear both this episode. You'll hear both the Staci interview on both FTC and Shea Butter. Like, so y'all might have some other stuff to talk about. Like, what we got to look forward to. I want to make sure I get y'all plugged.
We ain't talk about nothing until next episode.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, man. This is the episode.
This is the episode. Hello, hey y'all.
Y'all eased us into our interview portion of our careers here. Honestly, I can guarantee you it's going to be about whatever nonsense is about to come.
Oh yeah, because today was the Washington Spirit deadline. Nothing happened.
I haven't seen anything.
Tomorrow is the league's deadline, and nothing's probably gonna happen. So they can play them little games.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's the thing. Is like, Staci alluded to it during the interview, and I definitely have to agree with her in this case, because like a lot of the protesting, a lot of the kneeling, a lot of the statements, it's like, what is this all leading to? And I think that at some point, you just it's like, you know what, y'all ain't living up to y'all word, to y'all code, or whatever it is that you live by. So we out. So
yeah, they got to. That's probably gonna happen.
Probably what's gonna take. And that sucks, right? We're in a playoff push. That's money for people. That's their livelihood. But you got to take a stand. I know the IATSC. I'm not sure what the org is, but they just did their strike as well.
Right.
At this point, it's a matter of labor, and I think that's happening in many places across the country because many powerful entities, corporations, whoever didn't hold their word. Everybody was touchy-feely kumbaya summer of 2020. It took a Black man being murdered on television, essentially, or on film, for that to even get to that point. But, we're a little past a year later, and not a whole lot's changed, right? And everybody's back outside. If you ever closed, by the way. Some people did not close. But yeah, and it's just sort of like, okay, we don't have to, it's not in our face. We don't have to think about it. It doesn't affect my life. And I think, like I always say, soccer is just a microcosm of everything else of society. And so I don't think what's happening is all that different than what's happening in the real world, right? Or outside of soccer or sports in general in this country. I don't think how the sport of soccer works pretty much everywhere else in the world is all that conducive to how sports in America work. So there's got to be some give. It was definitely some perspective there, right? Just hearing the history and what they do. The tryout thing in particular was that's wild. That's wild.
I ain't surprised though.
Coach, man.
Yeah, our coach.
But that's. I mean, it's like that's not even something I thought about, but I guess that means I'm hopefully ethical on some level.
Yeah. I wasn't shocked because they do that in corporate America all the time.
Bring people in.
Like you feel like you did a good job. Like I nailed that interview, and then you realize,
you were never gonna get that.
Except I bucked the system. My first job, I bucked the system. I was one of those, and then I came and smashed the interview, and they was like, "Oh shit, let's go."
All right, listen, you got in. That's what happens to most people.
It was a rarity.
Us. Yeah, particularly us. But it's just.
Well, that's all that story.
It was humbling. Yeah, that was humbling. Like it was. Damn.
I will say this. So I guess from the past week, this lack of not giving a damn about Black people and the means of this quest of like change in the soccer and like ignoring the people of color period. Actually, it's funny because I thought about it. How did I think about this? It clicked because I had a conversation the night before, but like even when you talk about Mana Shim, she's a Chinese, Hawaiian, and white, so she's a woman of color, but she's been whitewashed in this interview process in terms of talking about her on these different interview rounds where you haven't so that's been ignored. That portion of her has been ignored. And then you have the whole thing with Kaya being ignored. And then we're not even talking about what happened in Louisville for what hasn't been said. The racism portion.
Still. And apparently, I guess for some reason.
We're not going to know either.
We're not going to know until the end of the season.
Yeah, the PA had to put out a statement last week saying like, hey, we're going to let this, play out. you know, and not say too much. I'm like,
because in a different way.
yeah. It's of course, you know, we kind of know about we've had a good whiff of things on the back channel, so it's like, yeah, that's going to be messy. That's going to be real.
Well, I think there's multiple things going on there. I think that's part of it.
Yeah, that's part of it. That's multiple.
They gotta weed their way through the muck.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, the lack of coverage, and then even when you're doing the protests in the game, before the game, people still ain't kneeling because they don't care. Like, so it's like performative. So it's like you still have to deal with the fact that you gotta confront your white supremacy issues and fucking embrace all the races and deal with the racism. And give voice to the, you know, the black peoples.
I mean, but
and brown
that's anywhere, right? Like, and this sport is extremely white, certainly on the women's side. I on the men's too, though I think it's changing. That's always the way it's been, right? And I think, like, one thing we can do, I take Coach Staci's words to heart, right? Like, change what you can, right? I used to read a poem when I was little. It's called like "Brighten the Corner You're In" or something like that. Like, that's what you can do, right? And find a lane where you have the ability to do it. And we got to be loud, because all aspects of the sport aren't going to be loud on our behalf. So yeah, I mean, that's disheartening. I do see people, you know, trying to keep Kaya's name in the forefront, but when you say protest, it should be for all things, not just just your thing. And what is the catalyst for all of this, right? And who is the catalyst for all of this?
Who does it benefit?
When other stories came out and who benefits from it, like, we know how this goes. So I think right now it's just sort of holding tight to see what happens, but at the end of the day, it's all U.S. soccer, so I don't have so much faith. So,
well, I mean, see, y'all get on my nerves with this shit. Like, you got to have some kinds of the optimism. If
she did, Coach Staci said, be optimistic.
You got to, because I tell y'all this shit. Because I mean, like, you got to have, like,
it's a hope that kills you.
It's not even nah, man. Like, y'all, you have to see the opportunity, because it's reaching a point where if they don't get their shit together, it's all gonna collapse. So it's like, and somebody is gonna correct it. So when people thought that there was never gonna be you was always gonna be running around with vinyl, we are now running around with songs on the phone. When Polaroid thought they was gonna be forever in business, when Blockbuster thought they was forever gonna be in business, where do you see a Blockbuster?
Scott,
where do you?
In Oregon.
I'm
in Oregon.
not driving a flying car yet. I'm just.
It's coming, son. It's coming.
Back to the Future lied to us, man.
It's coming. I'm gonna tell you that. It's coming. I got homies working on
those.
A
flying car. I drive a Kia.
It's coming. It's coming. I drive a 2012 Ford Fusion, and it's paid off, and it's gonna continue to drive.
I mean, if you hit the right pothole, you might fly, man.
Wait, don't do that. You know I live in LA. Don't do that. All this to say,
I feel all the potholes bad in Atlanta too.
Oh,
well, yeah, because they don't have the pothole patrol no more.
You got steel plates everywhere.
They really do. They really
it's
do.
So bad. It's real bad. It used to see back in the day with what's her name, Shirley Franklin. You had the pothole patrol, and you could call 1-800 pothole, and they could come.
You know, the signs aren't up anymore. Them used to be signs up.
Ain't no more. Nah.
Oh, wow.
I almost had to take a rental car back when I was in Atlanta. It was such bad. I was like, this is looking like California.
It don't make no sense though, because like so much, potholes is dependent upon ice, water, and all that stuff.
Y'all have none. Some rain maybe, but y'all don't have.
Well, we got more than enough rain.
It's rain. Y'all got rain. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all scared of earthquake.
We get more rain in Seattle.
Seattle. It doesn't actually rain that much in Seattle. When it drizzles, when it does.
It just stays drizzle, but we get rain. We get rain.
Like 2 inches in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh man, if that happened in LA, it'd be over. It'd be like a flood.
Nobody told me when I moved here like how much it rains. So they always say like, no, it's hot land. It's hot land. Of course, nobody says that shit.
Who did tell you that? Well, I'm sorry, it rains a lot.
From Atlanta says hot Atlanta.
Nobody says that.
Right. That's what the foreigners tell you. And then you move here. Right. And then you move here and you realize, like that first summer I moved here, I think it went no more like every 3 days it rained that whole summer. And like I was like I was not prepared for that.
If it's 90 degrees, it's gonna rain and storm. Like it's normal. It's natural.
Yep. Like for an hour too. Like a good hour strong.
Good hour. Mess up your day. Mess up your hair.
And then let's throw some badass traffic on top of that too.
Yep. People hitting them S curves at 60 miles an hour in the rain.
You know what's classic is like how that meme got trending where you got those 3 cars getting stuck going off the exit. Have y'all seen that meme? And it's like, of course this will happen in Atlanta because we got dumbass drivers. Like,
There's ways with that today on the way home from work. I was just like you have people coming onto Claremont, and I'm trying to get onto Claremont, and it's like you had this like weird 3-way. I was like, you know what, like. I'm getting too old for this, man.
No,
like,
I know what's the funnest stuff. Like, so where our office is right there by the King Center, and so when I'm headed home down the south side, I always gotta go on the Grady Curve connector part. That shit is always fun. I think it's fun, like trying to figure out how that merge happens. Be like, all right, are they gonna make it? Because everybody's trying to get on 20. I'm trying to get on 75, 85, and that whole merge is just like,
wait, that was the earthquake. We good. All right.
Shut up. Don't do that. Bye.
The ground move, Scott. The ground move.
Before we get up into it, but today I just want to give a quick shout out to our fam in Richmond and Madison. Of course, we got another Henny Derby in Richmond. I was hoping that we were going to be there, but like everyone's got life shit going on. I got jury duty on Monday. Coach is coaching. Shout out to Rashad's mama, Miss Kane. Her birthday's on Friday. TK got stuff going on, and I was like, I don't think we're going to be able to swing it, but Rashad did come back from Wisconsin with gifts, so I wanted to just give a shout out to Rashad. I finally have some spotted cow. Straight from Wisconsin, like since the Henny Derby that we did back in Richmond 2 years ago, I have been fiending for this ever since. So while Rashad was up there, he was able to scoop me a 6-pack, and like, yo, it's absolutely glorious. But yeah,
is this the last Henny Derby?
For the season, yes.
All right. So, I gotta get in on this next season.
Yeah, like of course, Richmond's home. And everything. So I'm hoping that I'm able to get back home sooner than later. I mean, the birthday's coming up, holidays are coming up, so I'm hoping I can get at least one trip up there. But yeah, man, shout out to the fan, everything. So I heard it's supposed to be a pretty good turnout from all the crew. I know some of the 2 Cents fam is coming. I know obviously some of Featherstone's coming, and I think Gino's coming. So we'll have a good representation, and like I forgot Ringo's going out to Dubai for like a week. It's like he over here balling out of control. So it's like so the Atlanta contingent unfortunately will not be there, but y'all have fun, drink it up, watch out for that watermelon. Just watch out. So
soaking the watermelon.
Man. Wow. Wow.
See, y'all need to keep y'all third eye open about that shit. I'm just
oh man, but
in a watermelon, that's what the man wants you to see. I'm telling you,
that's how the man gets you.
That's how to get you.
Yo, that sound fire though.
Oh, bro, like all I can tell you is
the Henny and pineapple.
Hey, Scott, just like the Incredible Hulk used to sound.
Yo, let's not talk about that. I was in a tank top and I had shoes off in my hand at 2 a.m. and it was like 50 degrees.
Hulks, they put something in you. Hypnotic in. Ain't nothing like it.
Hypnotic. Oh man, I only drank that because it was in music. There's no.
Hey, that's why. But you gotta mix it with some Henny, and then it turns green.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Incredible. And then
you die.
Like a Hulk.
And then you die.
Not and die. I was like, oh God.
But,
why am I in a tank top and my shoes are off at 50 degrees?
That was me in college off some oil. Like, didn't need it. Did it anyway.
But yeah, of course, this week is the last week of these Sadio Mane and Brian Scurry hoodies at FTCUTD.myshopify.com. Coming this Friday, we got the Ronaldo and the red Crystal Dunn hoodies that'll be available. So Ronaldo Phenomenal, not the other one, but the original, the OG. But you'll those will be dropping on Friday. So basically, Friday and Saturday you'll have a choice of all four available to you at FTCUTD.myshopify.com. Of course, even though the season's still winding down, get your name sets done, get your jerseys done, get your jerseys laced up, and did I be able to go out to Torrance yet, Sky?
See, I knew you was gonna do that. It's gonna happen. I
found a store for you. I'm
gonna call him. I'm gonna call him and go do it. I've been busy. I've been getting my life together. I was like, damn it, you gonna say Sky? Did you go?
I gotta make sure, because I was really hoping to make up the Richmond this weekend, because we got some special name sets for Yogi and for Cal. So I was really looking forward to seeing those. Of course, they'll still be rocking them. Just I won't be able to see them in person. But yeah, just make sure that you get your stuff at FTCUTD.myshopify.com. And let's do we have any bombs? Like, do you want to do some bombs, or are we doing too up? We want to do some bombs.
We got some bombs of the week. Who?
Well, I mean, there were.
It was a lot of furniture moving. It was my bad. Yeah. It was a lot of black on black crime on the field. Black on black.
We try not to continue that narrative.
Yeah, so it was black on black wars on the soccer pitch, and two of the games, it was a lot of violence. It was a lot of furniture moving. That's what we call it, furniture moving among the contingent. It was some straightening. That Portland Thorns.
What's it?
Houston game. Wait, Portland Thorns. That was a lot. Then the KC. Kiki, what you call it?
It was KC. It was KC in Portland, wasn't it? Or was
KC. Well, well, both of those.
Yeah.
Then Estelle shut down Trinity. And Amani.
So did Amani. Good Lord.
When Gotham played the Washington Spirit.
No, she didn't hit that assist on Gotham. She hit it on Louisville.
Yeah, she hit on Louisville. Exactly. Ooh. Because Estelle kicked that thing. She tried to nutmeg Estelle, and Estelle sent that into the. She was like, I'm wrong.
Nah, Gotham said,
you cook up cast iron and George Foreman. You don't cook up meat. Because I'm grown.
Do that in practice.
You do that in practice. You don't do that here. I'm grown.
You know, she dropped those nicknames at like a real random time, and I was trying to hold it in and be professional because I was somewhere work related. I was like, "Damn, come on!" Like, who are you talking about? And then, yeah, man.
So it was Portland playing KC, because Sophia and Kiki was getting into it.
I mean, they did that.
They were leaving Stanford. It was getting violent. So yeah,
I respect it. I
don't know. Was there some bombs? Maybe Iffy or Midge, or was it Midge?
Midge scored.
That was a bomb. That was bomb worthy.
Midge scored.
Ali Watt almost had a phenomenal goal.
I would have lost my mind, man.
Because Ali Watt's back.
Yeah.
Her little team's like kind of unstoppable. All right. Like if Ali Watt is back, they gonna win the championship. Y'all just can mark it down.
Speaking of defenders,
Monica
is here. Not really. We'll probably say that for next up because the delegation plays overseas as well. The next couple of days with the Champions League matches, so it's the first time they're doing group stages. So,
They're group stages?
Not at this point. No.
Wow, I did not know that.
No,
that's how Man City got booted on out.
Yeah. That's always glorious. That's always glorious.
Just played in. Oops. Free Bunny shot. But they played into group stages, and then this is group stages with the last 16 teams, and it'll go to 8, the top 2 teams from each group. will play in, and then they'll go back to home and away legs until the final. So they tried something a bit different this year. So we'll see how it goes. It don't matter. Barcelona's gonna win. It does not matter.
Although we were told Barcelona is not that good. So they're gonna beat. They're gonna beat.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah. Barcelona's gonna throw
the women. Sorry.
Yeah.
My bad. Yeah. Barcelona, the women, they're gonna throw Arsenal into the stands.
He
didn't need to say that. He just needed to go.
Poke the bear. They're already mad.
We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be all right. Just kept it moving. He said they would. They did not play good football. I was like, man, they're gonna boot y'all into the. They're gonna put 10 on y'all.
He said before the fact. I think that he did not say that now. But yeah, if you're a Barcelona fan, watch the women because I don't know what the men are doing. I'm so sorry.
You just pray for them.
They don't know what they're doing either, though. So that there you go. Boy, I know Des thought he was gonna. I thought that was gonna go different for him. Nope. Stuck with Ronald Koeman, man.
Well, it was this is like weird because like this is the 1 year I was gonna get a Barca jersey, that purple Memphis Depay jersey.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
But nah.
Yeah, can't do it this year.
You can put it. You can like hide it.
Okay, just that
you can't claim Barcelona men.
You can hide it and like put it in a like.
I've seen the home jersey in person. I've seen the home jersey. Like I actually like it. Like when you see it in person, it actually looks pretty good.
It's pretty, yeah.
It's really there seems to be a split about how people feel about that.
I mean, you have to have the right amount of juice and swag to be able to rock it. Because you just can't be dry and try to rock that shit.
Yeah, that's true. It looks good.
But if you got it, you got just enough, it'll work.
Oh, so if I got like some name sets for, I don't know who I want.
You think that through? Y'all can discuss it. Best okay. Taking Venezia out of it, who has the best kit this year? See, that's what I like.
Club-wise?
Yeah, club. I ain't gonna do country. See?
I would probably say Inter Milan with the snakeskin. Yeah. I like stuff like that. So I mean, if you want to go something like more classic, I definitely love Arsenal's Away to Yellow. I love that third kit. That thing is fucking tough. But the snakeskin, that's and of course I do have the Jordan PSG. Like I said, it's clean. Of course, it didn't have the Hector stripe in the middle, but yeah, it's still smooth as I don't know what. So
I like their jerseys. I like their third and fourth kits last year so much better.
Yeah,
from PSG. I love their third and fourth kits.
Got those in my closet.
What about you, Coach? Because we ain't talking about like what have you been copping lately?
Oh, I haven't copped anything lately. Actually, you wonder why I copped lately? It's not technically a jersey, but hold on.
Oh, snap. That's speaking of which. So this is a short sleeve hoodie.
Oh, okay. Like I said, we are trying to work that out because, like I said, we got to make sure the guns are out for Sky.
If you had like even a tank top hoodie. Oh shit.
Okay.
So
okay.
The French warm up.
I had it. Training, yeah. So I had to get it for the little one too. So me and her are matching with this.
Oh,
and I had to throw that out because they won this past weekend.
Nations League, yeah. Those two goals by Benzema and Mbappe, especially that one by Benzema.
Benzema is he doing something different, man.
You would have never thought that.
I think I know what my favorite kid is.
What you got?
Is that Paul? I think they always come up with some new shit every now and then. I gotta go back to the motherland. The Kaiser Chiefs, the South African club.
I've seen that one.
Always come
up
with. And their new one, I like it. it's a bold design for them because usually they keep it simple and traditional or whatever. But I'm liking the Kaiser one.
Right.
So
yeah, because like I always try to find. I always find myself looking up either the Kaiser Chiefs or Orlando Pirates. Of course, I have a Cape Town City jersey from a couple years back. Of course, it's always difficult because I'm like, so few stores here stateside carry those.
Nobody's going to carry this side.
Right.
Yeah.
And then if you go onto their sites, of course, like how many of those actually ship over to the States. And so it's always difficult.
Like 5 million rand for that shit.
Right.
Right.
So it's always hard, but like I always keep my eye on those. But yeah, if I didn't feel some type of way about Arsenal just in general, I would easily keep. I would definitely do at least a wager because that one's it's classy.
All the jerseys are fire. Those Arsenal ones in person look good.
Yeah,
I don't be wearing Adidas like that unless it's Trae Young shoes or Candace Parker's.
Yeah, man, you over there like stocking up on trees.
Scott, I agree with you on that one. I definitely agree. Like, yeah,
I'll buy some Adidas merch when they drop it for the collective. I'll do that.
Yeah, like the trades have been selling pretty well. Like I know, like I said, Sky's been stocking up on them, so I might have to figure out who her plug is.
Hey, Scott, what size you wear?
What? It depends because I got some big feet. Because I got orthotics. Oh, so I got the well for the trays, I think I got the 10s. 10? Yeah, and the dudes. But I probably could do. Wait, hold on.
You about to send some free shoes or something?
I know, right?
No, I'm trying to steal from her.
Please go away. Nah, I wear a 7.
So technically, free shoes, you're just getting something versus giving something away.
Yeah, that's why like y'all was like, oh yeah, you coming to the Henny Derby so I can see about them shoes.
Slipping, that's what's up.
Be like, hey, what's good, dog? Let me see them shoes. Yes.
Not your size.
Not your size.
But yeah, let's hop up in this this 2 up and 2 down. Actually, no, I'm see the man hasn't been on in a while, so I gotta give him lead off, man. I'm
rusty.
It says like I'm sure you got plenty to say and all that stuff. So yeah,
I got a whole episode's worth. No, I mean, when I reflect what's been going on since last I've been on recording, really the downs I got right now. Well, immediately, yesterday I got hacked. And if any of y'all follow me on socials, y'all saw that because like it was the weirdest thing ever. I got hacked on my IG, my Xbox, my email, and what else? Facebook. Everything got touched up. And it was because I think my burner account was my Yahoo account, and that was like my old email that I used back in the day, and that just I don't pay attention to that burner account, and I'm sure they caught me slipping through that. So that wasn't fun going through like a whole half day of dealing with that mess. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like my mom. I was like, well, what do I do now? Who do I come? I need to speak to the manager.
messing up our Netflix account. Shit.
Yo, exactly. Because Grego, you know me. Grego knows I had to change this joint the last couple of weeks. So that's been annoying. It's just, God, there's no rest for the weary sometimes, So that's been annoying. So that's a, low level of down, but the high level is just that when I originally took this gig as working with Soccer in the Streets, and of course with the name says Soccer in the Streets, so you assume that we in the streets. This is true, but the fact that like dealing with street life stuff and when it's so abundant and so like prevalent and everything like that, it makes the job harder. And it's one of those things that it makes it where it's almost the defeatist thing is like, am I doing enough type of thing? And with the recent uptick of violence in Atlanta, it's definitely creeping in closer to our programming. We're having stuff going on with our own programming where it's like, kids are bringing guns to practices and shit like that. So it's like,
Damn.
yeah, it's no joke. And then I've been working with the police departments, and we're having to go over like gang education. People don't realize in Atlanta has a huge gang issue right now. There's over 71,000 gang members within the metro area, and that's what they know of. You know what I'm saying? So
what?
I got stories from growing up, but yeah,
it's a huge issue right now, and it's creeping into our programs, and so like it's been one of those things where it's like it keeps me up at night. Not gonna lie. So that's kind of like the down, and that's why I've actually been kind of away for a while. It's been dealing with a lot of that BS. But as far as up, and it kind of relates to this, is that I've been working on a project with Common Goal with this anti-racism league, anti-racism project, and there's a lot of stuff that you're gonna probably hear within the next 6 to 12 months with this. And Kaya is actually working with us on that as well too, and it's been getting a lot of my time and everything like that. But to be in the trenches with some people who are for the cause, for us, who are for the culture, but then also the allies as well too, it's been cool to be a part of that process. And the thing that's funny is that when I initially signed up to be a part of this project, I kind of thought like, okay, like maybe the kids, it's not going to be as apparent of a need for them. And when I say kids, I'm thinking 10-year-olds up until high school or whatever. But we're in our 5th week of games, and I'm talking about whether it's the competitive club level travel soccer to all the way to our low intra league rec in-house league or whatever. Every weekend we've had racial issues, whether it be white on black, black on brown, brown on black, black on yellow. Like every week we've had racial issues, and
Really?
it's amazing how much of an issue it still is at young levels. Whether it be the kids doing it, whether it be the parents perpetuating, whether it be the referees perpetuating. It's obviously a thing that we cannot overlook and think that we can say like, oh, now we good. That's just that's just in the professional levels. So the work still needs to be done, but I know that the work that I'm working with some people on this project is it's going to be hopefully a step forward for whatever kids and coaches that get caught up into this program. So that's a good. And the other good, I guess, is that Atlanta Braves going to that National League Championship.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Rango, how's Florida football doing? I was just wondering.
Oh wow.
let's go.
Wow.
How's Florida football doing? No, because y'all love to tweet about y'all want to be in the Twitter space about how's Michigan Wolverines doing? Oh, we undefeated.
I was gonna ask you about Michigan, but I refrained.
We undefeated. How's the
We're
Gators
basketball school. We're basketball school.
Oh.
You say we got 2 natties. Let's go.
I just wanted to say because
I was wondering if you were gonna say something about Michigan.
Oh God!
I knew it was coming.
Last week, some TikTok shit. Now I was just like, oh boy, here we go. We go.
That's actually my good game or my positive thing. If y'all don't follow him, y'all need to follow Coach Go 30, Coach 30.
Oh God.
Man's hilarious. The way he's just clowning football players in the college and pro levels. He makes my day every time.
You saw the new one? You saw the one with the Colts?
Yes, man. He came back with the heat on him.
Who is this?
Coach 30.
Coach Go 30. Coach 30. Yeah, Coach 30.
Yes, he will break down like all the blown plays and like be clowning the absolute fuck out of whoever.
I wish there's a soccer version of that. Like,
yeah, right.
Because the one he did with Alabama this past weekend, and while we're on that real quick,
with that wig,
Alabama lost. Just a quick reminder.
And kind of got their ass whooped. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. It's a great day for America.
So
Alabama had a rough Saturday, man.
Yes.
Wait, what was the Alabama comment that you made earlier, Sky?
What?
If Alabama does it.
They took a lot of L's on Saturday.
Nah, man, I was thinking about my homie. He went to his Alabama State. Homecoming. They don't win. That's the only thing.
Exactly, because you had Auburn lost, Alabama lost, and then poor Deontay. Poor Deontay.
Oh, but actually, okay. This goes to another good game or up, and this is actually related to Alabama. There's a reason why I'm saying. In a couple weeks, I'll actually be out of town. I'll be going back to Huntsville, that's where my dad is from, Normal, Alabama.
Okay, I didn't know that.
What's that?
I didn't know that because I got family out there.
Yeah, so my pops is from Huntsville, Normal, Alabama specifically, because his dad, my grandfather, was the dean at Alabama A&M.
Okay.
And so what we found out is that my great-grandma, my dad's grandma, is being honored by Madison County, which is where Huntsville is,
right?
Because she was one of the first 5 black women to vote in the county.
Oh, wow.
And so we're going. Wow. She's getting honored and everything like that. So taking the fam out there, taking a little road trip out to Huntsville. I ain't been there in probably like 25 years or so.
What?
It's been a while.
Damn.
Yeah, it's been a while. So that is good. That's a good game that I gotta share as well too, though.
Yeah, man. It's glad to have you back on, man. It's been a minute since we've seen that light skin glue.
Wow. Living in the wild west of Atlanta.
So yeah, it's man.
Seriously.
Wow. We're gonna break up some of this Atlanta stuff, so I'm gonna have Sky come through next.
Oh, you mean me?
You got Sills.
Oh yeah.
Because you know it's coming. You know it's coming when I go. Go ahead.
I'm breaking up Atlanta right now. I'm breaking it up.
You're up to down. Wow. 2 down. I guess just the ongoing whatever's happening in women's soccer. It's just I think we stick around because we love it. We stick around specifically for Black players, not only. But I think with the interview today, and again, I'm super appreciative to Coach Staci. But damn, it's been this way for a long time. And, I mean, it's nothing different than being Black and anything else. So, but yeah, it's just, something's got to change eventually. But I don't know what that looks like, and I don't know how old I'll be when it does. You never know sometimes, and if you've done any activist work or any movement work or anything like that, you know that you don't always see the fruits of your labor, or anybody else's for that matter. But you try to do something, right? So yeah, I think that's got me down, which is sad because the quality of play is pretty damn good right now.
I think that's the frustrating thing in all this, because like all the game's been better from a technical standpoint, and even for all that, you still have this level of abuse, and it's just wild.
Right. I mean, this is, I guess there's not a silver lining per se, but like imagine how good it would be if there wasn't this level of abuse, right? There's still that much talent, some of the best in the world, and you heard what they go through and what they've gone through, since the 90s, really. So yeah, I think just trying to remain hopeful, even if the hope kills you. We got to have something. So we have that, and I just think like whatever part of like American history we're in or world history we're in, right? It's just a really funky time, and I think the students feel it. I think staff feels it. Like I feel it. Like we're not out of a pandemic yet, but I think you have like very different realities playing out there, and it's just a lot. It's very disorienting. And it's trying to navigate that, while you have responsibilities, while people's children need you, all that stuff. It's a bit exhausting. there's not enough hours in the day, and I just want to sleep for a week sometimes. But damn, it sounds really sad. Overall, it's like damn, it's down. Yeah, and I just trying to just find little moments of happiness, and joy and laugh a little bit. Let's see, to up. Well, the upside of women's soccer is my team is good. So I don't know. Listen, balling. If we do what we're supposed to do, maybe you can
champs
know what it feels like to win something. That'd be exciting. Yeah, and even the college team's doing pretty well. They did.
That's right. Yeah, you're on the other side of Washington, because
coach
over here, trying to get the purple side, to success again.
Man.
Just letting you know that University of Washington, we are taking all, we are on the Air app. If you know what I mean.
You looking? You scrolling?
We looking for some stuff, guys. Looking for some matches. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I'm screaming.
You gonna fix it? You gonna fix it, coach?
You know what I'm saying? We're not looking for guys pissing down their legs anymore. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you can come coach. You can come. Never mind. I'm about to get kicked out of school. I was gonna say you can come.
Coach because y'all about
we got.
Y'all say y'all he about to get himself out the paint pretty soon. So just a matter of time.
Almost the 18th player. Let's see what happens. Don't get me started. I'm trying to keep my job. Let me be quiet. That's a powerful department there. Where our kids are, but that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, so that's exciting. But yeah, our young women, our players for women's soccer are pretty good. They played really well against Stanford actually, and only lost 1-0. So, yeah, just really we can finish. We'd be golden. So yeah, but I got to see Naomi Gurma live, so that's coming. Like that is all it is hyped up to be. So not a foot wrong, man. So yeah, that was cool to see that and get to see some of the talent before it very obviously goes to the next level. So that's cool and just a really good soccer environment. It's a really supportive community, so the games are usually pretty full. So that was nice. Just a good escape. It was cold though. And then let's see, one more up. Shout out, my nephew's birthday is tomorrow. He turns 10. So yeah, he's excited. We're gonna do it big. I'm gonna try to sneak watch some games while we're out in center probably. But yeah, I'm excited. He's the baby boy and the baby. So time flies, man. I remember when he was born. So yeah, just trying to celebrate another year around the sun because it's not guaranteed. So yeah, just trying to enjoy life, laugh a lot. Apparently I gotta catch up on Ted Lasso. So yeah, no spoilers, man. No spoilers.
Okay.
I'm 2 episodes behind too. So
okay. Yeah, y'all hurry up because these last episodes will get you. You want to go clean up?
I'm gonna be upset. I heard.
A little bit.
Okay.
You want to go clean up, Sky? Or you want me to go?
I don't care. Either, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Marshawn Lynch motion. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? You already know what I'm here for.
Your chickens and your
count your chickens and count your
there we go.
Handful of Skittles.
Your mentals and your chickens. Huh?
Okay, so my 2 downs. So I got it's not a ticket, it's an infraction because I didn't stop at the stop sign long enough. I don't know how he pulled me over because I was behind. There was a vehicle in between me and him. But because old boy was on the phone and wasn't paying attention, because I departed before he did, he thought he pulled me over. And homeboy walked up to me and he was like, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And I was like, "I assume because you believe I didn't stop long enough." And he was like, "Yeah." And I looked at the thing. I'm like, "This ain't even a misdemeanor. This is an infraction. So I gotta go to court." That's gonna be fun.
Like you start that whole story, see what happened was.
Yeah, that's what that was.
No, I didn't run the stop sign. I stopped. I stopped long enough for his liking because he was getting his ticket quota. So that is a down. That's a disappointing situation. The other one would be
got a situation.
This nonsense. Well, I mean, you ain't no shot. With the Jon Gruden.
Oh, we need to talk.
Can we say that one? Because I got.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm just saying.
Hey, Greg,
you already know
that elephant in the room, bro.
Oh, we are getting
That's
there.
your squad. That's your squad. You better.
Yeah, I'm gonna let him take it.
Okay, my bad. I forgot that's your squad. That's your little squad. That's cool.
But delete your emails though. If you need to move accordingly.
Oh God.
I guess my other down was my Georgia Tech needs an offensive line. Still? They won games though. They beat. Don't do that. They got one more year. They got one more. They building a whole football team. So they won the they beat Duke. So we're in it's the visions of just get to a bowl game. That's where we're at. We taking baby steps.
I thought y'all still intramural squad. Like,
don't do that. See, you talking crazy because you undefeated. You gonna do that to me?
I mean, at least y'all can throw the ball forward nowadays. Y'all are done with the days of Paul Johnson. You know,
hey man, if he would have put him in the gym, they could have been running through. They still beat Mississippi State though.
Yeah.
Oh, I can tell this year because I know who's coaching that team. I've been through that experience. Have so much fun.
But don't interrupt me in my down situation. Okay, so my up. The Braves didn't embarrass me. They are going to the championship series. Wait, hold up.
Yet to be determined.
Don't do that.
Stop. Hey.
I don't know who you playing. That's all I said. Damn.
It don't matter.
Don't matter. We resting while they still playing. We resting.
We resting. And then my Falcons didn't embarrass me across the pond. They didn't get deported. So
no,
you were doing so well on that.
Okay, Braves fans, would you rather play the Dodgers or the Giants?
Anybody can get that smoke. Probably the Giants.
She said the Giants.
Hey, but Giants pitching is tough too, though. Like,
well, I mean, I'm looking at recent history. I'm like,
I hate Dodgers though so much. So like,
I don't need Mookie grabbing nothing. I don't need him being Superman.
Mookie is a joy to watch, though.
He is.
Yes, he is.
And he's from Memphis. Ain't from Memphis too.
Man,
so,
I'm from the A though. It don't matter.
But you know, we do for why did y'all do that in a playoff game? We do for one of them games. I don't need it to happen embarrassing me.
Well, you do it without your superstar too, so that's impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, we do it without Ozuna and Ozuna too.
Yeah.
Like, maybe.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh yeah, I'm back. So I'm back in the gym. So that's the other thing. That's my other up because I'm back in the gym because we figured out what was wrong. It's my SI joint, and it was I had to get a massage gun to break up the issue.
Ooh.
But
the massage gun is the truth.
Yeah, it was the truth, but it changed the world. And so we out here in serious rehab. It's like, yes, you're gonna suffer, but you're gonna build these muscles back. So we out here.
Mm-hmm.
Stallion season on the way. Autumn is coming.
Autumn, yes.
Autumn.
All
my Pilates. We gotta do Pilates.
Oh God.
Miss.
Hold on. Hold
well,
up.
damn.
My bad.
I told y'all, man. This is what Grego's about. Y'all thought I was playing with Greg.
He just pulled us out.
No, I didn't. I was still there. Hold on. What happened?
No, we're not. We like ghosts, man.
5 heartbeats.
There we go.
Ain't nobody come see you, Otis. We all Otis.
Laugh at that part of Meg's song. I always laugh. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Okay. My ups right now, birthday's coming up, trying to get healthy out here in these streets, and stay healthy because COVID's still a mess. And somehow, some way, I, just by the grace of God and Joe Pesci and Morgan Freeman, I'm still I've never caught anything, and I just try to keep it that way. You know, Florida's down, but it's okay. It's okay. We got to get to the needy every so often. So Michigan.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's different.
Got to have their year. So and Cincinnati, and Iowa, like see. So it's all about the less fortunate this year.
Iowa was such bad football to watch. I'm sorry, my God.
Yeah, but
it's not entertaining. They don't care. But.
Yeah, it just works somehow. But yeah, and then of course Alabama losing that is an absolute that's up for America, not just for the culture, but for America.
Wait, y'all lost to Kentucky. My bad. Sorry.
Whoa.
I mean, they undefeated though.
We're not here to talk about the past.
They undefeated. Wildcats undefeated, y'all.
And I had to give credit where credit is due, but apparently that red team over there in Athens is
Let's not talk about that.
Calm down. It's coming.
That might be real. That might be a real deal this year.
If I have to hear another go dog,
this whole state is going to be so insufferable if they
y'all do
actually
realize
do make
we could be in a state of where the Cowboys could win a Super Bowl.
No!
And Georgia could win a championship.
Kill that.
Let's not entertain that.
We've been through enough. We've been through enough, fam.
Yeah, let's not entertain that. Let's like I said,
and the Red Sox win the World Series.
Don't do that.
Stop it. Or the Astros for that matter.
But the primary thing I want to talk about is just I'm not gonna make this my only down discourse. My Vegas Raiders, and things were looking so good 2 weeks ago, and then emails, man. Like it's always the emails, man. Like
yes, emails.
So for those of y'all who have been living under a rock, it came out first of all Friday. You had leaks come out saying that former coach Jon Gruden had words about the Players Union president DeMar Smith, basically talking about his lips and his appearance and everything. But wait, there's more. And then in a matter of it had to have been 2 hours on Monday. Like you basically had the story come out that basically he had called the commissioner a pussy. He said that the league was wrong for trying to take care of concussions and player safety. He mocked the league for getting the Rams to draft Michael Sam, the first openly gay player in the league when he got drafted in 2014. He said that Eric Reed should have been fired for kneeling. Mind you, he didn't even touch Cap. He just said Eric Reed. So I guess he wanted that. He wanted too much smoke there. What else are we missing?
Women. He went after women being
referees. Like he just plucked on every last bing, 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 bing.
Or Aaron say Pokemon, the Pokemon of insensitivity.
Yeah.
Collected them all.
Like literally.
Shout out to Aaron Westphal. I was like, damn, he really did. He said checklist. I mean, make sure I got it all.
And I've had mixed feelings just on one element because we haven't even really talked about the Dave Chappelle comedy special, but he has a part in there where he's talking about how we downplay racism, and because that came out first and nothing happened, but then once you start talking about commissioner and gay players, and because mind you, he has a gay player on his team, Carl Bassan, NASA, yeah, and how he was against gay players being drafted and women refs. I'm like you're personally. I think it basically came down to him talking shit about the commissioners. That you want to call me a pussy, huh? Yeah, and he said, "All right, bet."
Yo, it's
and that's what got him about the paint. They got him up out the paint so fast because that
It was during the game, I think.
During the game, like the leak came like I want to say like around like 7 something yesterday, Monday, and before halftime he was done. Damn. And they got him out the job. Even the Buccaneers, who had him in the Ring of Honor, said, "You know what? We're gonna pull that back." Like he said, "No." And the bottom line is that you can't defend that. You really can't. And and the crazy thing about it is that because a lot of people were talking about like how this stuff was 10 years ago. Like, no. That's just when it started. The last bit of communication that came was 2018, the same year that he got hired by the Raiders. So he was carrying that energy for pretty much the duration of 7 years where he was communicating with Bruce Allen, the GM of the Washington football team. So, like, the fact that, and I saw a clip from NFL Network today that really kind of rang true to me because, like, you're not saying this kind of stuff to somebody between mixed company. You're talking to somebody who shares similar views with when they haven't even talked about what Bruce Allen said. And there's been the push now by the NFL Players Association to like, hey, release all of the emails because the emails came out as part of the investigation on sexual misconduct within the Washington football team and the owner Dan Snyder. So like they have like basically an accumulation of over 650,000 emails. And that's like, so if you have one, there's a very good chance there's more people that's out here talking outside their neck and everything. So
do that in the email. Use comfortable, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like what? And then people are like, "Well, why don't you release your emails from 10 years ago?" I was like, I wasn't racist and sexist and
right. The fact that he put it in emails, it wasn't even text. Wild. Like, because the sit down, because like especially guys that age, like most of them aren't. Yeah. What's up?
What's up? Say, one of the best investments I've made is purchasing Grammarly. My email, and
right?
Because it tells you not only about your grammar, but it tells you the tone of your message. And so Jon Gruden might want to look into that. I'm just saying.
Well, I don't know where he'll be working.
Yeah,
like, won't be in
whatever.
Hey, whatever. So this episode brought to you by Grammarly. Hey, Grammarly, we taking sponsorship. Just let you know. You know what I'm saying?
And you can do in most typing programs too, not only tone, but you can check for like exclusive language versus inclusive.
Right,
language,
exactly.
Right? Yeah, you can do all that stuff.
Like, are you sure you want to say that? Like, that's not good. That's not good.
Pretty much, it'd be like, hey, don't say that. It's pretty much what they got.
No, but he had to be, like you said, he had to be on the keyboard. He was like,
like he meant
that. In the email. Yeah, you meant that.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're going through email and doing that, like,
you probably don't even want to see his text messages.
Text message is worse. Just look at his like meme and gift game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's probably like
probably harder. The harder.
I also feel like he
knee deep ER.
He probably also exclusively has memes of himself. Like he seems like
no, he
1000%.
With that face.
The Chucky face, 1000%.
But
wasn't his brother coaching the Washington football team?
Yep. Because and mind you, like his brother Jay, like he had an incident with a player back like shortly before the year before he got fired, where basically like he's like challenging the player to meet him outside and fight and everything. I guess they had an incident during a game against the Giants, and like I know the Grudens ain't living right, but
coach's sons too. I think.
Hey, Keyshawn told y'all.
He did. He did. He really did.
Keyshawn was like, I told y'all.
He even let the chopper sing.
He did. He had fun today.
But yeah, like
that sucks, man. No, I'm sorry. But...
And the fun thing about it is, and we talked about it earlier with Coach Staci, is that you have a lot of like how the Rooney Rule has basically been jacked. So basically, all you got to do is basically get your token black interview, and you can go ahead and go about who you want to hire. And that a lot of this happened when Gruden got hired. It's like within like a week of the season ending, they had announced that that he got hired by the Raiders, and at the time, like it was like, of course, he had the big 10-year, $100 million deal, and everybody was like, "What? Like for him?" Like, and obviously, as a Raider fan, like the results have been very mixed. We started off strong this season, but the last 2 weeks we've lost, and like it's it's one of those, like, you're nothing to defend there. It's like if that's how you're rolling, you need to be gone anyway. So, and it's funny because, like, of course, at the Raiders groups that I'm in on the socials, some people were like, we should go back and rehire Jack Del Rio. I'm like, no, he carried some of the same energy too. So it's like, nah, like we need to, get.
But no.
I mean, I feel like that'll be too on the nose right now because it's like, okay, like, yeah, are we doing this because Eric Bieniemy's been leading the top offense in the league the past couple of years, or are we doing it because we hired a white racist coach? Like, you know what I mean? It's like that's the tricky part that I'm wrestling with right now. Like, I hope that, like, he more than deserves a job, but it's just like, are we the right spot now given everything? Like, I don't want to feel like that's a token job and like he only gets like 2 years and then we go hire somebody else. Like that's the bullshit I'm hoping to avoid. But yeah, the better. Like, I'm just so glad that it was like light speed. That article came out and within 2 hours he's out. And
must be nice.
But yeah. He and that Sage Steele bucket with me. So bye.
But that one right there, boy. That's another episode.
Still the Staci Dash.
She is worse than Staci.
No. Staci Dash actually hung out with black people one time in her life.
Yeah.
Okay. She was in the black movie.
We're beneath her. We're beneath Sage.
I'll put respect on Staci Dash's name. I'm sorry.
Not a whole lot, but
Mo Money. Was it Mo Money? Yeah.
But
that was, I did like.
She was in all the black 90s movies and Kanye videos. That's where it went wrong. Somebody said she was running through the airport and all falls down and she ain't been right.
Damn.
But I know we've been going along. So like, hopefully you get your fill of both us and Shea Butter this week. Like I said, we try to do like a big super episode for y'all. Hopefully you enjoy this episode, whichever feed that y'all happen to be on this week. I said it was great to have Coach Staci Wilson on the show with us finally, and I said she really drops some real knowledge on the pod this week. But of course, next week is our actual 3-year anniversary. Like I said, we'll see how many people we can get up on here. But like I said, we'll have more announcements as far as the future of the pod in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, of course, you can. Where can they follow the Shea Butter as always?
SBFC _podcast.
I need y'all to get a jingle with the Shea Butter, like like FTC.
Oh, that's coming. Oh yeah, Shea Butter SBFC Double Dutch is coming. That's a segment that's coming. There's gonna be like, what is that? Yeah, it's coming.
Okay. Okay.
Somebody needs to listen to some stuff. Anyway, but yeah, SBFC _podcast at your Twitter, probably your IG.
Sometimes.
And then and then I'm SKY FYE FUTBOL.
That sounds like a Mickey Mouse. SKY FYE.
Hey, Grego. See, this is what happens when you go to an APS school. This is what happens when you go to an APS school.
Yo. What?
Yes, it is. Yes.
I actually saw the Paideia soccer field last week.
Was it all nice and groomed? It was like nice and green grass.
Yes. I didn't realize it was.
Mays High School. Don't do that. We have fine grass.
I'm not even gonna tell that lie. I love my high school.
No. Our stuff was fire. For
Actually,
what we had to do.
I mean, now I
don't know what it's like now. Back in the day, it wasn't like that.
Creme de la creme for
it was bougie. It was the bourgeoisie. of the APS.
And then, of course, 2 blocks later, you were in the hood.
Not
you go
anymore
2 blocks later, you on Memorial, and it's like, oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was deep in Southwest Atlanta. Yeah, but not anymore. But back in the day, we had nice, pristine grass because you had a football team, and we marched on that. You had to do 8 to 5 in the lines.
Ooh, oh no.
And both were good, band and football team.
Yeah.
I mean, our band was better than our football team most of the time. I think we were good my freshman year.
Hey, like I'm just waiting for Cam to go and show up at a Mays game. That's all I was waiting on. He showed up at Auburn, and they lose there.
He got to go to a Westlake game. He went to Westlake.
He Westlake.
Okay.
You better get that right. That's South Fulton. Bring that
South Fulton.
Bro.
Oh my God! Man. All right, this is
hold up. So did you go to Petersburg?
I sure did.
Okay.
Yes, I did go to school with that person.
Okay.
No.
Wait till we stop recording. Ooh.
But yeah,
that could be a few people.
Oh yeah, tell you, you're Southern. That's Southern Sills. That's the superstar. She got like 50 million followers.
Superstar is a very strong word for that.
I don't even have 50.
Well, if you had just let them finish hacking you probably would.
Wow.
They were working on it, man.
But as always, you can follow us, the culture at FTC
UTD,
Instagram, IG, Facebook, FTCUTD Pod on TikTok, where we never do anything. We just we just watch Mr. Go 30 all day. But yes, again, next week it's our 3 anniversary, so we'll figure something out. I mean, we still got
hopefully 3rd anniversary, man. We got to do some leather oriented.
I don't know what to do with that.
The leather.
Maybe by then we might have some U.S. soccer to talk about because I didn't really. I watched it, but honestly, I slept through the first half. That's why I really didn't have much to say, and then we lost. So it's like, there you go.
Well, it's all on it's tomorrow, right? If they win, they probably in first or second. So
they'll at least stay in second. So
I think people are panicking. The year is 20.
That's what they do, and it's like
2026.
It's so English of them. It's so English of them. Like it's like every loss, it's like, oh my God, like
they are
the worst.
Simply channeling their ancestors. It's fine.
It's the weirdest shit. But we'll get into that and more this week. But until then, for Sky, for Sales, for Coach, for Mayor, for TK, it's Grego here. Coach is real. Hold on. It's a joint show. Let's do y'all's ending. Let's do that.
Oh shit.
Right. Stay hydrated.
Stay melanated.
Make sure that the Black women in your life are celebrated.
And make sure your shea butter bombs are always elevated.
Yeah, so we'll see y'all soon. We out.
That's the point.
What's the point?
It exfoliates.
FTCUTD.